Okay, guys. Last week we left off talking about it was called conflict. Yeah, trouble spots, whoops and delete, stuff like that. Did you guys work with that this week? This last week?
Yeah.
Seriously? Yeah. Okay. Did y'all have any questions about it? Anyone? You okay?
I keep feeling I'm going to sneeze in it. It's not happening.
Anyone other than the sneezer have any problems? No one? Okay. All right, this week we're going to talk about braces and dictionaries. Okay? Okay, Total Eclipse dictionary entries use the braces, okay, to surround text which must not be translated literally. Okay? Y'all know what that means? It doesn't literally have to be translated. It kind of knows what it's going to do, but it has to be in the brackets. And I think I told you guys that one week that the braces were very important. You know, not just put in the thing or put in the symbol or whatever. And if you don't put those brackets, it's not going to know how to read it. Okay? So it's very important. So you don't have to go through and do all of, this junk of return, cap, period, tab over, cap, any of that stuff. Okay? The software already knows what to do. So like on a question paragraph, you highlight a question paragraph, and how do you highlight it? How do you global it? Control G. When you want to global it and put it in your dictionary, you highlight it, Control G, and it's going to ask you what you want to do. Okay? And it's probably going to know what you want to do. So it's going to have that little window that comes down and says, is this what you want to do? Do you want to put it as a question? And it's going to give you that example right there. If it doesn't give you that example, this is how you define it. You don't have to do return, space, bracket, Q, period, bracket, close bracket, tab over, cap next, none of that, okay? All you have to do is that for the question. All you have to do is that for the answer, okay? Quotated question, I'm not even sure. I've never even done that. In the almost 23 years I've been a court reporter, I've never used a quotated question paragraph, but I mean, I guess when they're reading from a transcript or something like that, maybe that's how you do it. I don't know, but how I would do it on the machine, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to do it. And I'm being honest with you guys. So I'm not saying that I know everything about this software or whatever, but the stuff that's gotten me by, I'm going to teach you the basics, and this is the basics here. And that's how you do it. Question, answer, speaker identification is going to be just like this. So it's going to come up as a speaker when you're in colloquy. Do you guys know what colloquy is? Yes?
Yeah.
No? Anyone not know what colloquy is? Tell me if you don't know, because you're going to be lost. Does anyone not know what colloquy is? Okay. This is colloquy. Right here. So your speaker paragraphs are going to be in colloquy. Okay? Parenthetical paragraphs are going to be just a P, the capital P. I've never even used a new continuation paragraph, but I mean, if you want to, that's how you do it. But instead of, you know, the decimal point like that, that's how you write it out, decimal. And it knows what to do already. Okay? Same thing for delete stroke, auto include file, you know, right there. So like if you're going to take a break, if the judge is sending the jury out, they're going to have an off-the-record discussion. An attorney wants to confer with his client. You know, you have all of these block files or auto-include files that show this, and that's what they're going to be. Okay? So off the record, any of that stuff is going to be like here. It's going to have the little sideways caret with the, you know, whatever you want to do. So, you know, when I go off the record, you know, and the judge says, Dave, off the record, mine is off, off. And then that puts the parenthetical in there, whereupon an off-the-record discussion was held. Or if he says, you know what, I'm going to take a little break. You guys take a break or whatever. Then, you know, I do OFR, offer, which means for me off the record. And then that means whereupon a brief recess was taken. Okay? You in the back.
You made those up, right? You made those. You typed them.
Yeah, I mean you can use whatever you want. And it's pretty much going to read about the same. The only thing that I would say not to do, that attorneys are going to frown upon, is if it's more than two sentences. I mean more than one sentence. Because then they think you're kind of padding the record or whatever. It's like, you know, he didn't have to use 9 sentences to say we're going off the record. You know, whereupon the judge left the bench and went into his chambers and stayed in there for 25 minutes and then came back out and then we went back on the record. You know, simple. Keep it simple, okay? Whereupon short recess was taken, was had, whatever you want to use, you know, so it's no big deal. Later on in this class, I'm going to give you a lot of my block files, okay? A lot of you guys should have. Did you? Maybe not. It was the upper class that I gave them to or whatever, so I'll give you the auto-include files or the block files that I have. If you like them, great. If you don't, you can tweak them, not use them, you know, for title pages, appearance pages, any of that stuff, okay? But this is a symbol that you use, okay? I don't know what any of this, some of this stuff is. I don't even know what a fake untranslated entry for scanning. I don't even know what that is. So anyway, that's how you do it. So I'm going to kind of give you a little example right here, which is the example thing that we do right here, okay? So you're right here. You're on this. How do you global? Control G. Already gives it to you. Already pretty much knows what you want to do. But maybe, and I don't know if they did it here, but let me check. They didn't. But maybe you stacked it with something here, like it was an answer symbol, and it has ES right there. Well, you know that you stroked yes, sir. Okay? I don't recommend it. Some court reporting students are doing it. Some court reporters are doing it, where they're stacking the answer and question symbol with certain words. Saves you a stroke, you know. So you can do answer symbol, ES, yes, sir. Or question answer symbol E, and that means yes. You have to be real careful with that, okay? Because if you accidentally misstroke something and that's not what you wanted, then you're gonna have to go back and fix it. But it's no big deal. You know, you can always go back and fix it. It's no big deal. Some people are doing it. I don't recommend it. Just because it's, to me, there's room for error. I don't know. I personally don't like it. If you like it, great. I don't really care what you do. Do what you want to do. Do whatever's easiest for you. Not that I don't care. You do it in what's easiest for you. Okay? So anyway, we're going to go right here. What's it, the global? Control G. You already know it's A. You want it as the answer symbol, and that's how you do it. Brackets, A, bracket. Okay? But you don't have to do that. All you do is select 1, puts it in there. You want it in your main dictionary. Enter. It already does it. Okay?
That did not come up on this console.
I'm sorry?
Those options
Are you
didn't come up
jamming
when
out?
I
What are
did.
you doing? You jamming out?
I was listening to something else.
Okay.
When I did Control G.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, it comes up now.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
weird.
I didn't press the right thing.
It's kind of weird. All right. What do you do here? Global
Control G.
or Control G? If you're in,
When you're in hyperkeys, though.
yeah, so you can do G. It already knows what to do. Okay? Be real careful here because look at the examples that it gives you. Okay? That's not what you want. Pretty sure. Let me check again. Yeah. That's not what you want. You just left out, you know, GPH. No, you didn't leave out anything. I don't know why it's given that many examples or whatever,
Well,
but
because the question bank is supposed to contain the 2 vowels of the It's supposed to contain the 2 vowels. Not all the keys in the 2 vowels.
2 vowels. Is
Really?
that what you're saying?
y'all's does?
Not percentage.
Oh,
Not
my gosh.
percentage.
Kissenberry does.
Kisslingberry does.
Anywho, we're not going to do it that way. If you do it that way, great. I don't really care. But we're not going to do it that way. The way that I'm going to teach you doesn't do it that way. If you do it that way, you do it however way you want to do the way. All right? But I'll show you a little shortcut right here. Say it gives you these examples right here. Well, you don't want it. You just want the question bank. That's all you want, okay? What I do, just to make it easy, and you can do it either way. I'm going to show it to you both ways. I do it, number 1, highlight here, backspace, enter, puts it as the question. That's all you do. Or you can
Oh, this is fun.
Or you could come here. I just highlighted the Q is all I did because it didn't give me another question or whatever, but you can change it. So say you wanted to change the symbol or whatever, or the stroke for that to mean something else. Put it on here, whatever. Now it gives you the example. But let's just say it didn't, okay? You come in here, backspace, capital Q, ready to go. Enter, same thing, okay? Or you can go in there again and say it doesn't give you that example. Say it gives you a blank space like that, then you just go through and shift bracket, Q, bracket, enter, same thing. It's the same thing. You in the back.
There's another way.
Mhm. Next week, when she teaches the class, she's going to show you the other way. No, what's the other way?
Okay, so go up to the FRPBLG, right?
All right.
Just pretend that you wanted to stroke the question.
Oh, I'm pretending.
Okay, so highlight it like you're gonna globally and just.
And how do you do that?
Well,
How do you do it?
Control G, but still.
All right.
Okay, But I didn't want you to like go to the global.
What did you want me to do?
I just wanted you to delete FRPPLG.
Delete it?
Delete it.
All right.
Okay. Now, in the space between the period and the S, right click. No, in the space between the period and the S.
All right.
Okay, and go down to paragraphs. Question.
Well, that was an answer, but.
Question. But I'm just showing you, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but.
Well, that was an answer symbol that was there, I think.
I said pretend it was a question. See? No, it doesn't.
Okay, now I'm going to pretend to poke my eye till it absolutely bleeds. Or you can do it that way. All right? That is another way to do it. To me, and great, that's great that you messed around with it, you found a way to do it. Fantastic. To me, and I'm not making fun, but it's a little bit longer way to do it. Okay? I'm going to show you, this is really the easiest way, guys. I mean, and say it's not here. Say the answer symbol isn't there. Well, you need the answer symbol right there. Does anyone know what the answer symbol is? F4. F4 puts the answer symbol there. Okay? Got it? Anyone have any questions? So if you come here, control what? G. Whoop. Right there. And that gives you number 2. Okay? Put number 2 and enter. You in the back.
What exactly is stacking? I hear about it all the time, but I don't really understand what it is.
Stacking is when you're kind of going either too fast and you don't let your fingers come completely up and you're already stroking the next word, so you stack two strokes together. But you can read it. You know what's kind of going on or whatever. And it's something that you do all the time. And it's something that I do, which is kind of weird because being the terrific writer that I am, I'm just kidding, guys. But I am. But, you know, it is it, and sit. But I have it as a conflict because I do it all the time. All the time. You know, so you kind of have to be careful. And if you have like a finger that drags or whatever, you have to be real careful. Because like your suffix li, that's the way I do ly, lie, you know, all of that stuff or whatever. Well, I do will you. Will you? Will you please? I think that's it. Will you? Okay? So I do lu. Every now and then, when I'm having a crazy day, haven't had that second cup of coffee, every now and then I'll drag the E in there. So then it comes up li or ly, you know, and it puts it with a suffix or, you know, whatever. It puts it that it wants to be a suffix with something or whatever. So, you know, and it happens, guys. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But the more that you use this software, the more that it's going to know what you're doing. Which to me is no big deal because I already know. In the auto magic keys, it's going to come up. Did you mean will you? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, it, you know, and it'll put it. Sometimes with the auto intelligence, it'll already know. Well, pretty sure you didn't mean li or lie or, you know, any of that stuff there. So I'm going to go ahead and put will you. But if you want to change it, I gave you, I'm speaking like I'm the software. Went ahead and put the stuff in you know, the auto magic. Thank you. I'm already fried already. So anyway, any questions about any of this stuff? About putting it in brackets, any of that stuff? Pretty easy stuff, guys. I mean, it's not rocket science or whatever, but it has to be in the brackets and it has to be the way that it shows you. So a lot of times, if you just global this stuff, which is Control G, it'll give you the examples already. Okay? So you don't even have to guess. All you have to do is just put the right one, the right number. Okay? So, you know, somebody accidentally put the asterisk in there, whatever. It's not going to hurt anything. And if you did it once, more than likely, you may do it again. So if you didn't mean for it to be with this word, you know, which is sometimes what I do, you know, like on believe, grieve, you know, any of the V's where you have to come back, hit the V, come back and hit the asterisk, hit it, come back. You know, sometimes I'm already lifting my fingers and it kind of drags a little bit and the asterisk will be up there or the word will be up there, then the asterisk below, so it already deleted the word or whatever. So, you know, it gets a little crazy. So if you meant it to be with something else, then, you know, you may have to tweak the dictionary there. But if you didn't, then, and you meant it to be the answer symbol, just drug the asterisk in there, then you may want to put it in your dictionary. Okay? Because if you did it once, you're probably going to do it again. All right, now we're going to talk about punctuation. Okay. Punctuation here uses braces in creating dictionary entries for punctuation marks. Eclipse will then know to apply automatic punctuation logic. Does that make sense to you guys? It already knows what to do. So it already knows the logic of what you're trying to do by putting the bracket, period, bracket. It puts the period, space, space, cap. It already knows to do that. You don't have to rethink it, overthink it, any of that stuff. The software already knows what to do. Okay? So that's what you do with the punctuation. Be very careful that you don't do this. You put an extra space because, or you put the bracket, period, space, space, bracket, because you need the space, space there because you think it does. Don't overdo with this software. It already knows what to do, okay? It's already going to do it for you. So you start doing other stuff, then you're going to have 4 spaces here because it already knows when there's a period, it already has space, space. Well, you put 2 more spaces. So now it's going to put 4 spaces. Then you're going to have to go through and correct the whole thing if you went through and did it in the whole document. You're going to have to retranslate that document because, you know, you did it wrong, or you're going to have to redefine it. Okay? So be very careful not to try to overthink this thing. All right? Same thing with the comma, bracket, comma, bracket. And it already knows, put the comma, space, other word. It already knows what to do. You don't have to put the space, any of that stuff. All right? Same thing with colon, semicolon, you know, especially like the colon too. You know, because usually with the colon it means it's some kind of quote or something is coming. So it's the colon, space, space, cap. So it's almost like a period, but it means that something, you know, something is coming that needs to be capitalized or quoted or something like that. So it's going to put the space, the 2 spaces, capitalize it already. Okay? And, you know, I use it like when the court says, okay, the court's going to rule as follows. Colon, space, space, cap. The court rules that blah, blah, blah. All right? That's where I use it. Make sense? Okay. Any questions? So here are the examples of how you do it. And that's exactly how you do it. It's pretty simple. I may have my lovely assistant Slick print this page so that you guys can have this page. You can laminate it, whatever. It's pretty simple, guys. It's pretty simple. When it comes to punctuation, this is what you do. Okay? Now, some of these you may not know. Okay? Like delete a space. If you want to delete the space and you want it together. And what that really means is like on Dr., Mr., Mrs.,
First name and an initial.
if you have like a first name, last name, you know, I mean, you're not gonna really be able to do it, but you know, if you're gonna do it, it closes it up. This also, the tilde puts it together and keeps it together. So if you have at the end of the line Maria Gonzalez, don't do that. Okay? Names should always be together. So what you do is go to Gonzalez, say this is Gonzalez right here, put it right there. Well, Maria's over here on the end of the line. All you do is come here, shift, tilde. Is that? No, that's not.
Yeah, tilde.
Yeah. Tilde puts it together, and it already knows what to do. It already brings it down, you know, whatever, your honor, stuff like that that you want to keep together. You know, that's how you do it. So this might actually be a pretty good thing to print and kind of keep, because this is going to show you, you know, how to define the stuff. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, but if you want that, then my lovely assistant will print that for you and get that to you at the end of class. Right?
Right. Shoot, I'm ready to send it to the printer now.
Holla. Any questions about punctuation? No? All right. Okay. This is what I was talking about, and I guess they call it composite globals. It's when they put it together. Are y'all listening?
Yes.
When they put it together and it's already in there.
The stacking.
Stacking. But they call it composite globals, I believe, or whatever. And they're going to give you a lot of examples, you know. See, this is yes, period. Guys, if you can read it, fantastic. To me, I can, and I'm not bragging, I can do it just as fast at 3 strokes. I guarantee you they can do that pretty close. So it, you know, it, because I've been doing it so long, I don't even think about it. Question mark, yes, period, move on. You know, whereas you're like, oh, sure, what's that brief for? Question, yes, and period. 9 words, 12 words have already gone by, and you're trying to think of one to save you some time to drop 9 words. Seriously? If you can get it down and it helps you, that's the whole point about using briefs, is if it helps you, fantastic. If it doesn't, and it's good, you know that it's good and it's going to help you, practice it. Practice, practice, practice till it becomes second nature. Then you're good to go. But until then, all you do is hurting yourself. Okay? All right, let's watch the video. I'm sorry?
I almost wasn't able to read that one, the question, yes, period.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Well, because I forgot that instead of there's period is that PLT.
What's yours?
PP.
Yeah, don't use that ever. No, I'm just kidding.
Doesn't that translate to preponderance in some other languages?
Well, PPE is preponderance of the evidence.
Okay.
Preponderance
Preponderance is P.
PP.
Yeah.
Preponderance of the evidence versus PEPDD.
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 Oh, preponderance.
We'll never use that either. Anywho, all right.
You're just jealous.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, cool.
When you write quickly, your steno machine may register. When you write quickly, your steno machine may register separate strokes as if they were written at the same time. Eclipse composite dictionary entries can unscramble this mess. This one dictionary entry performs 3 steps. First, it creates a question paragraph, then it inserts the word yes, then it ends the sentence with a period.
Okay, like I was saying, if you want to do it that way, this is the way you define it, okay? So if you want to do it that way, that's how you do it, okay?
Here a suffix S was written, immediately followed by a question stroke. Eclipse understands a glance at the list, it's choice 3. Of course, I could have also gotten help from the special entries list, but because of the global magic feed here, a suffix S was written, immediately followed by a question stroke. Eclipse understands a glance at the list, it's choice 3.
Okay, you understand what it's trying to say? Say you want to global this. Say you do it all the time. And I kind of do it a lot too. Say I do it a lot. But say you stack your suffixes with the question mark. And it's G, S, T, any of those, and you know that it's going to end with the last sentence of the answer, but it's going to the question afterwards. It already kind of knows what you're probably going to do. This software is always thinking ahead, so it always kind of knows probably what you're trying to do. So what you're trying to do is number 3. You want it as a suffix, which is this, and it's the, to put the S as the suffix. That's the way you do it. You don't have to, because it has ES, IES, you don't have to put any of that. It already knows what you're going to do, okay? But we're going to talk about that. I think it's the next one, prefixes and suffixes. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but this is how you do it. You define it. You know what? I want it to suffix S, bracket, caret, S, close bracket, bracket, because it was a question. So I want the question symbol, and I want it to come down as the question because I'm going to start my question and that. So it's going to be number 3. Okay? Any questions about that?
Of course, I could have also gotten help from the special entries list, but because of the global magic features, even that help was not needed. I'll place this in my main dictionary.
Okay. Any questions about that? That's how you do it. It's kind of giving you some examples here of what to do. I mean, and all you're going to do is just define it again. It's Control G and ask you what you want to do. It's the period in STEM Ed, in the real theory. Got something in my. No, it's the period. Okay. But I mean, if you do it differently, then it's going to start knowing. The more that you use it, it's going to start knowing what you're wanting to do. So if you do the period differently, which is what? PP, then it's going to start knowing that, and it's going to give you that example. Okay? So the more you use it, the more it's going to start, and with that, with PP, you're going to have less of a chance to misstroke it because it's only 2 strokes. Here you have 4. So you might leave out the F, might leave out the P one time, you might leave out the L, might drag the S on the TS, who knows, But, I put it in my dictionary unless you think it conflicts with something else. Okay? Any questions? Perfect. Okay. Does anyone know what they were trying to do right here?
Sounds rude to me. Comma.
Me, comma. See, I would have never heard that.
What else comma?
WB.
Huh?
WD.
Anywho, what? Control G. Number 8. Okay? Me, comma. Or it sounds rude, comma, me, if that's what you're trying to do. It doesn't make sense there. But if that's what you're trying to do, it gives you that example also. Well, did you mean me, comma, or did you mean comma, me? Okay? So it gives you that example. It's always thinking ahead. Or did you mean mirrors or mercs? Because you're going to use that all the time. All right? So it's always thinking for you. Did you mean mix? Which is possible. You know, you left out the U, added the R, whatever. But, I mean, if you did, I don't know that I'd put that, you know, if you did it a lot, you know, they were talking about some kind of mix in the dictionary, in the deposition, and they talked about it a lot, and you misstroked it every time like that. 1, you probably need to be fired. 2, no, I'm just kidding. No, but let's just say you did. And if you did, I mean, it's no big deal. You put it in a job dictionary. Do not put it in your main, because more than likely, you're going to use that stroke for something else. Either me, comma, me, or whether it was for marks, mirrors, mercs, whatever. Okay? So they just give you different examples. All right? Any questions about that? And you see how, you know, whenever you do it, Control G, it always knows pretty much what you want to do. It's going to give you enough examples that 95% of the time it's going to have that example in there. Okay? Unless you just completely misstroke something or whatever, then it's pretty much going to know what you want to do. Okay? Any questions?
Dead quiet.
Parenthesis.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's a parenthesis, you know. So you do Control G, it already knows. Parenthesis. Okay? So, but you just stroke it one time, and it thinks that you mean something else. So unless you do something like, say you don't want to do pren all the time, because you're going to be putting parentheses in this deposition or court hearing quite a bit. The way you can shorten that is put the asterisk. Just put the asterisk with it. Then it already knows, you know, it's different. You know, instead of defining it as pren, or you just used it in that job, then you can use it in a job dictionary as pren is always that. But, you know, you have something that ends in pren.
Analoprin. It's a drug.
Analoprin. It's a drug.
For high blood pressure.
Yes, it is.
Would you like to see the prescription?
No.
You act like I'm feeding you bad information.
Hey, I'm teaching this class. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding with you. Guys, you know, I do this stuff just to kind of, guys, make you laugh, because I think that it makes it easier sometimes to learn just by laughing. So, you know, don't take any offense by, you know, my humor or whatever. So if you don't feel like laughing, laugh anyway. But anyway, you know, say you had what? Alloprene?
Analoprin.
Analoprin. So you want to be careful that you don't define pren as parentheses every time, because then you're going to have alla and then a parentheses on alla. Okay? Yeah. So be careful with that. Okay? But if you did, you know, all you have to do is just use the asterisk, you know, or whatever. So that's a way that you make it different.
No problem, sir. I understand.
I don't know what that is. Question is clown win? I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do right there. I thought maybe it would give me an example of what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure. Let's go down. They'll show us right here. Oh, it was a colon. That's what it was. KLON is colon. Whatever. But that's what it is. Okay, that's the end of that exercise. Do y'all have any questions about that stuff? Nothing? Sure? It's pretty.
Practice it. I mean, I want to right now.
Yeah, practice it, guys. Practice it. You know, practice writing commas, colons, you know, whatever. And not that you're always going to use it, but it may be the one time that you do, it's already going to be in your dictionary. Say you're just writing fabulous that day and you're just right on top of it, you know, and you have time to do stuff with it, and you know that, you know, man, I'm on it today. And I know that, you know, the judge's ruling is coming up. I'm going to write that colon in there, and it's going to be ready to go. And I'm not going to have to do it when I edit, do it. And you're going to have those days, guys, where they can't talk fast enough for you. They really can't. I mean, I have days they could be reading Cat in the Hat, and I'm struggling to hang on. But other days, and I'll look down at the little symbol that it tells you, and I mean, you know, whether it's, you know, right or whatever, it's told me 300 words a minute. You know, when they're doing fast exchanges, you have 2 or 3 attorneys and the judge that are arguing about something and trying to get their point across, and you're trying to stay on top of it, and say you're just writing well that day. Most of the time I'll stop them if I'm not getting it. But I mean, there's some days that I'm getting it. It doesn't matter. Talk as fast as you want. You can talk over each other. I don't care. I'm getting it. Doesn't matter. But other days not. That's when you stop them. Okay? But anyway. So any questions about that? All right.